Is live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth
And
and
what?
shame the devil. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
All right. All right. All right. All right. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. Good to be alive. Good to be alive. This is the live, uncut, unedited talk show. We just want to love on our people. We want to tell the truth.
Tell the truth
And what?
and shame the devil.
That's all we want to do. That's it. These conversations are very painful, but they are necessary. They definitely are necessary. Keenan Nicole, what's going on? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. What up, Nate? Yeah, some of y'all still woke, huh? I thought y'all be in bed. Valisa, Lewis, good evening, Martin. Good evening, everyone. All right. Sharon Jones, all right. What's going on? Y'all still up at night. Y'all supposed to be in bed. Kennard, the DJ, what up, man? Yep, that's it, brother.
Tell the truth and shame the
Joy
devil.
Haywood, what's up? What's good? What's good? That's it. All right, April. Damas. All right, Sharon Williams. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? We got a few people on here tonight. Somebody want to hear something. Somebody want to hear a word. Somebody want to hear a word tonight. Somebody needs some truth. Somebody is they need somebody. All right. Willie Lump. Willie Lee, what's up, man? Sharon again. Glenda Brown. Kim. Much love and happy holidays from California. Already from California. Right. Bull Wallace. All right, April. I see you, April. I see you. Tracy Taylor. What's up, Tracy? How you doing, Tracy? Brother Joy Haywood again. This live, uncut, unedited. Quincy Green. What's up, Quincy? Demario Reed. What up, bro? D, what's going on? Spiritual Warfare Hour. Tell him. Somebody explain it. D know what's going on. D know exactly what's going on. Spiritual Warfare Hour. It's time to tell the truth and shame the devil. Dwayne. What's going on, Dwayne? LaShawn D. Jerks, what's up? All right. Proud Islander. Crime Chaser. King. All right, people. Let's get it going on. We ain't gonna hold. We already on here late night tonight. And I appreciate every last one of you guys. But before I get started, let me just declare the goodness of God. I just want to thank God for being grateful, slow to anger, kind, compassionate, because a lot of us, we left our homes this morning anticipating to come back home tonight. And somebody didn't make it back home tonight. But I want to thank God I was one of the fortunate ones that I made it home. You know, it's very important. Sometimes we let the small things get away from us. We take for granted. And we shouldn't do that. We should be grateful for all the small things, even when we go out there and drive to work or drive around, go to the grocery store. We ought to be thankful because it could end in a tragic accident. I was reading something the other day. A young lady died in a crash. Young lady. I think she's about 18 and 21, something like that. Forgot exactly where I read it, but I read it. I think I read it on Legal Help Firm. And so I'm grateful. So God, I just want to let you know that I'm grateful. I want to make that a public announcement, and I'm not ashamed to say, and I don't take no blessings for granted. Trust me. You could have been a victim of carjacking today. Your house could have been on fire. You could have had car troubles, anything. You could be on the verge of homelessness, but God decided to step in and bless you where you can live comfortable another week, another month. Thank God for his mercies and grace. And I always like to thank him because it's good to thank him. When somebody said, well, Martin, I don't believe in no mysterious God, and that's you. And I always say that if you don't believe in God, that doesn't mean that he doesn't exist because you don't believe something or it's not right. Just remember that. We're not going to get into a debate tonight about what's real and what's not real. But I tell you one thing, he's real to me. May not be real to you. You may not understand it, but hey, he's real to me. And I thank him. I thank him because I know without a shadow or a doubt that God is. Again, that God is. I tell you, navigating through this life sometime, it can become difficult. Facing all the death, the sickness, the oppression, the hatred, the jealousy, the malice, facing all those things. In spite of all that, we're still here. We're still standing. We're still standing. Some of us have lost cars, got cars repossessed. Some of us have lost our homes. Our homes, we had to give them back to the bank. Some of us have lost good paying jobs. Some of us have been on drugs for many years, but we're off drugs right now. We're drug free and alcohol free. Some of us have been divorced. Some of us have never been married and desire marriage. Come on, somebody, talk to me. And see, God is. And some of us, we love to hear bad things about people until it come knocking at our door. And the first thing we say, why God? Why me, God? Why not you? Why not you? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, God. Let's get back to the title, Mother and Dad. Mother and Dad, we need you. 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 I tell you, we need you. We need you. If there's any teenager that's listening to me tonight, I'm going to be speaking for you tonight. I'm going to say the things that you want to tell your parents, but you're afraid to tell them. I'm going to think just the way you think. Some of you have made this digital device right here, have made you shy away from your mother and your father. This digital device, which is called a cell phone, has made you be antisociable. Some of you, you're right in the same house with your mom and you texting her phone. And you say, well, Martin, my mama always busy. She always have company. She drinking and she's smoking. My father too. Now we don't even want to leave dad. They never had that. Dad he always working. When he come home, he's tired. He jump in the bathtub, eat his food, and he go on to sleep. Shut the door. And see, these are things that I'm talking about. This is how we're losing our young folks. And one thing I noticed about the young folks, they can't stand the older folks. And the older folks can't stand the young folks. They can't stand it. Seriously, can't stand it. Cannot stand it. And that's real talk. I wonder why. And I hear the older people always say, well, back in our day, we didn't do that. Yeah, you're right, back in our day. But we had our troubles back in our day. And I'm going to tell you, people, each generation of young people are getting worse and worse and worship. Let's just take a look at our young people real quick. Real quick, I'm still talking about young people. Let us take a look at our young people. Our young people, especially in the Black community, and we'll just say in these urban communities. Use Chicago as an example. I know I have a lot of people that's on here is from Chicago. Yeah, excuse my eye itching, and don't no longer live here in Chicago. You left Chicago a long time ago because of the violence and the crime and other things, and opportunity and the housing. Well, let me just say this to all my moms and dad out there that is raising young families, young teenagers. And you know, our teenagers, they have a thing that they feel in themselves. They're thinking they're grown. Get a little hair on the chest down there, a little mustache, having sex, secretly smoking weed, drinking secretly. So much peer pressure. And sometime my father used to say that children can make you laugh and they can make you cry. And I know sometimes when some of these parents get on here online and see their sons being slaughtered, killed, and all they see is a little innocent baby. That's all they see. But to the world, we say your son was a menace to society. Your son was about that life. He was a killer. He was a shooter. He was a carjacker. He was a robber. He was a gangbanger. And that's the way those of us are viewing some of these young folks. He was a savage, we say. Now, y'all know I'm telling the truth now. But in their parents' eyes, this is my little son. This is my daughter. I remember when she's born. I carried her home from the hospital. I had them, and we did this and we did that together. But your little son have turned out to be a monster in the community. A monster. Well, you say, well, Martin, as a parent, I did the best I could. Yes, you did the best you could. These young folks, they have a mind of their own. Yes. But as my buddy Christopher Coleman says, you can't start trying to being strict at the age of 12 and 13 or 14. It's too late. It has to start when they're small. You have to get them engaged in things. Because if not, the carjackers are waiting on your sons and your daughters. The gay bars and gay clubs, old men waiting on your sons and daughters. The gangs are out there. Weed, alcohol, the smash and grabbers, the card crackers, the lean drinkers, all these elements. And you know you're oppressed. The police is waiting on them. Waiting. And not to help them in most cases. You got to remember, mom and dad, you love them, but not us. You're in love with your sons and daughters, but not the world. The world can care less about your sons and your daughters, especially when they're out here committing crime. The first thing black people say when a black person get killed, what did he do? Or when the police kill a black person, what did he do? That's the first thing they say. What did he do? Was he involved in a gang? Did he get high? Was he a good kid? Let me say to the public, why I have your attention. You don't have to be a straight A student. You don't have to do everything perfect as a teenager. You are a teenager. Some of us, we wasn't no saint in our teenagers' years. We was having sex. We were drinking. We were smoking. We was gang banging. We was stealing out of stores, riding in stolen cars, giving the teachers a hard time in the classroom, a classroom clown. One of these things that I just mentioned got your name on it, mom and dad. One of them. So be careful how we point fingers at somebody else troubled youth. Because at the end of the day, we got to love on our youth. And if we don't love on our youth, guess what? We leave them open to a can of worms. We leave them open to a full world. I got a call. That's what I want to see. So young people, they're not communicating with their parents in a greater way in this day and age. Not all of them. Just imagine your son get into it at school and fight. And he have a fight with a local gang member that's known to carry weapons and known to be in the streets. Now he got to watch his back coming and going. Now he don't know how to explain to his mom that, hey, mom, I don't feel safe going to school. He don't want to tell his mother that he had a fight. He didn't get suspended, but they was fighting. They broke the fight up. Now he's feeling some type of way. I'll see you, call. I'm coming to you in a minute. So this gives him grounds of not going, hanging out with some other people, other gang. Now he's become affiliated with this other group. There's opposition of the group or the young man that he was fighting with or arguing with. So, mom, we have these problems. And sometimes it takes us as parents, we have to transfer our child out of school. We have to make a decision, say, hey, son, I'm going to have to let you stay at home. You might have to get your GED. You might have to homeschool because I'm concerned, I have some concerns of your safety. I'm at work. I can't be there. I can't hold your hand through this process. I have to go to work, keep a roof over my head, but at the same time, I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want you to be a statistic. All right, caller. 3945. Hey, caller, you're live, uncut, unedited. Go ahead, caller. Thank you for
holding. Yes, sir, live, edited. I'm not on my cell tonight, but
Good. That's okay. Go ahead.
I hear you loud and clear, and I hope that we can coalesce around what you're saying to, as they say, each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
And while we can't continue to look at like what you enlightened me on before, that I keep looking at everything bad, and you're not going to see anything good at all.
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree with you on that. I'll just say that the times call for self-evaluation no matter what.
Yes, sir.
In other words, what I'm saying, if a police officer is standing in front of me, the likelihood of me doing something wrong, I'm not going to do it.
That's correct.
The police officer get out of my view, I'm going to pick up what I saw maybe somebody else done, and it's going to continue to grow in me.
Yes.
Until I get bold enough to do it myself or get a couple other people to go with me. Now, that's a weakness.
Mm-hmm. It is.
All of us have to overcome, but I don't think. Well, let me just say this here, and I'm going to be done. A friend of mine, we were going somewhere, and he found a carton of cigarettes.
Okay.
I started smoking. So then I was hiding it because I knew it was wrong. But then somebody told me, chew some gum, try to hide the smell from the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
See, the pack of cigarettes was in my back pocket, and it was sticking up a little bit. And somebody said, "You got cigarettes in your pocket?" And that's how. And then the neighbors took up a concern and say, such and such, we saw your son smoking. So I'm saying we have to take self-evaluation, and if something that's wrong, we got to double determined not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to not to want to do it.
Yes, sir.
But, it's hard, but I tell you what, it's going to have to be done. And
Yes, sir.
In these long talks my father used to have with me, I didn't like it. We used to ride in the car. I just knew it was going to come up. I said, oh, here you go again. But I'm 67 today, and I still remember it. And I have never been to jail in my life.
That's a blessing.
I've never even been inside of a jail cell. I've never, I'm going to just go as far to tell you, I've never held a gun in my hand. I don't even know, it's like, except for at the little carnival when you shoot the balloons. But I have never held a gun. There's a lot of things I haven't done. Somebody might say, well, don't you have a gun to take your house? I'm just trying to tell you, I ain't never held a gun. Because I'm strong. Right now, if I forget my cell phone at home, I'm going through a frantic search. I'm patting every pocket. I say, I know I took the phone. And the phone could be fell on the car floor. I'm in a frantic search for that phone. Because right now, I'm at the point where I'm not living without that phone. But I got to be able to do something different because these things are consuming. You held that phone up a few minutes ago. These things are consuming, and it is separating us from our family.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even look right. We have to admit that it don't even look right when we out at the open restaurant. Several of our family members are on the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And people, it's supposed to be a family time, supposed to be a time when your family together. Somebody's going to have to say, put the phones up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have to be ingrained in us. We just because times have changed, we should be getting better and not worse.
Yes,
Just
sir.
responding to your statement, but it's time for self-inventory. And especially us, we have to overcome and help our people.
Yes, we do, brother. Old timer, very well said tonight. Today your birthday?
No, sir. July.
Oh, okay.
In the month of July.
Oh, okay. I thought okay. But I want to say this in agreeing with everything you said. And you're right. Sometimes we see so much bad, and we don't even acknowledge what's good that we do see. And you're right, man. Even on dates, when you're dating a young lady, still on the subject, we should put our phones away and put it on silent because it can be an interruption because you're trying to get to know a person. And old time is right. Once you go out and have family time, the cell phone should be put away. Well, you said, well, Martin, I just bring my phone because I want to take a picture of my dinner plate. And I understand that. But you shouldn't be on your phone. And I hate to answer calls when I'm sitting, eating and talking, even if I'm in a meeting with somebody. I hate to be rude. And my phone rings a lot. And, I'm like this. If you call me, I want to be able to acknowledge your call. But at this time, I can't call you, talk to you. And you're right, old timer. As parents, we have to sit down and ask ourselves, when is enough with these cell phones? Imagine old time, and I've seen it. My 15 have done it to me. We sitting at her brother's baby shower, and she texts me, can she get $15? Something like that. We both at the same place. Why couldn't she just walk right over and ask me that? And I thought about it, and I said and thought in my mind, we here at the same place. We rode in the car together. But she's going to text my phone and ask me for some money. And I'm saying, this is the new generation of young people. People, the less we talk to each other, the more I believe distance we become, especially the family members. I'm gonna make a sense all the time.
Let me tell you how I knew that my family was growing apart. I call myself pretty religious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've been having the phone in our house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when that cell phone came out, I didn't even know that two of my children had got a phone. And I call myself a pretty strict disciplinarian.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody at the school over there, from what my children have told me, oh, something must be going on. His or her daddy is at the school. I said, oh, that's what y'all was saying about me? So what happened when me and the wife would go out, we would call home and nobody answers the phone. Okay, so when I get in the house, I say, can you all hear the phone ringing? Well, whatever answer they gave, come to find out they had made their own contacts with their cell phone, so they didn't feel they need to answer the house phone anymore.
Mm.
See, so that's how. Then one time my son came in. He came in with his head bobbing, asked me on the phone like he was talking to somebody. I said, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, you know what? And I see this right off the bat. I just failed, and I can't let this go on no longer. You're going to come in the house, going to talk on your cell phone, pass right past me, and don't, because you're talking to Tom or John or Sherry, it's like I'm not even sitting there.
Mm.
But that's what these phones have done. And it's caused a big old separation. And we were just out the other week out here at Olive Garden last Saturday. Young lady was sitting next to me on her phone. I wanted to tell her, get off her phone, but I couldn't say nothing to her because my daughter on the other side of the table was on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
See, so I'm saying, but I can't be scared of my children.
Right.
But it has gotten out of hand when you start to question it. At this point in time, maybe the respect might be given toward me, but as soon as they get into with that other group of people,
Mm-hmm.
those phones yell. And this shows an unstableness that have infiltrated and has gotten hold upon us. We got to do something about it.
Yes, we do, because that is a separation. And I've seen mothers hand their sons or their daughters a tablet or phone so they can be quiet. Little bitty old babies that's in the strollers, and they hand it to them, and then they be quiet. And they get to punching and hitting buttons, and I don't know if they know what they're doing, but I've seen that though. And I've called this new digital electronic thing here is the new babysitter. This tool right here is the new babysitter. Outside of the video games and the TV is one of the babysitters. And this thing right here, we're losing our young teenagers to this thing right here, this cell phone. That's what we're doing. We're losing them. We're losing them. Everything that they want to know, old timer, with this little cell phone, if they want to know about sex, if they want to know about being gay, if they want to know about what gangs in the city of Chicago, whatever, videos and sexual videos and songs is all right here at the drop of a fingertip. It's right here. And we'll be surprised what our children are watching. And they're smart too. They know how to put a lock on their phone. And when their parents walk on them, they know how to change the screen real fast. Or they know how to angle themselves where you can't see them what they're texting. I'm telling the truth
That's
now.
right. No, you're telling the absolute truth. And everything you're saying, I don't know why anybody would disagree with it, because mine, like I said, mine was brought up in church. All five of them.
Mm-hmm.
Was straight up in church. And I ain't talking about every now and then. It was at church 3-4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the phones, they figured when you first got the phone, now this is the way it went. So you all got cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to talking. They said, okay, well, I'm going to check your phone every 3 days or whatever, find out what's going on. Man, after a while, that's going to become a weirdness to you. Then they didn't grab a little attitude about you don't trust them and all this kind of stuff. So the things they used to didn't question you on before, now they starting to throw this back on you. You don't trust me. You know, I'd be on my phone. You want to know who I'm talking to. These are answers that children are giving back to parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents are just sitting there and talking about, well, you know, we got to trust our children. You know, we can't make them mad and different things. And that part you said about that tablet, and it's kind of, I chuckled at it, and it's absolute truth. Give them a tablet. And right now, this trick that they got set up that everybody, you do need a computer in your house.
Mm-hmm.
But man, these children are not doing no homework on no computers.
Mm-hmm.
They playing games and things on the computers.
Mm-hmm.
And we want the computer for them to be able to do turn papers and do different things and look up wisdom. Look up stuff that we used to do in the encyclopedia.
Yes, sir.
Everything you're doing now on the computer, you had to do it in a Britannica or other set of encyclopedias that they had. Every house, almost growing up, you started to get encyclopedias in there.
Yes, sir.
But nowadays, you don't need no encyclopedia, but you be thinking that you're going to get your child that computer and they're going to be doing this and that on it. Not the case. They got it, but they're not doing their work and stuff on it. And I'm not saying all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But just check it out and see when you go past the computer, see what they got up there.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I was just thinking, old timer, and I know you're a very religious person, and I know you part of the church and you're a minister. Now, let me pick on adults a little bit. We've got to this point now where we don't even want to come to church. I'm gonna just watch it online. I'm gonna go virtual. Now, COVID, you know, we out of the COVID is over with, if I may say. It's still here, but we can go to church now. We can assemble now, safely assemble. And a lot of us adults have not attended church since the COVID, but we're watching it virtually online. We're sending and we're paying our tithes online, but we don't want to walk into a church physically, I say. And the cell phone has consumed the adults too as well. Has consumed us. I have to say it, old timer. It have consumed us, brother. And we have to be careful. Listen, I find myself, I could be on the expressway halfway where I'm trying to go. And if I left that cell phone, man, I'm getting ready to make you turn, get off the expressway, come on back and get this cell phone. It's that bad. It's so addictive. So addictive. Yeah, it is. But let me take this other caller. Hold on, old timer. Hey, area code 630. Go ahead, caller. You're live, uncut, unedited. Hey, partner.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing? That's Bill.
Good, man.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, that's Bill.
Bill, I don't know why I don't never recognize you. I got you programmed on my personal phone, but I don't never recognize your number when you call in. But go ahead, Bill. Go ahead. All right.
Hey, listening to you and old timer, and you mentioned about the situation with the young man or child not able to communicate with the parent.
Right.
And communication is a big thing, man. And these cell phones, just like you were saying about your daughter, being in the same event room and text you see it all the time. I myself personally am overly aware of how addictive it is. I leave my phone in the car, in the truck. I don't need it mainly for business. I have left my phone in the house, and I won't go back and get it if I'm running errands. But anyway, I had a friend of mine about 8 years ago. We were talking about pretty much the same thing, and you called it the new babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
He said that these phones, games, tablets, he say they were designed to keep your attention
And that way, your focus will never be on what's really going on, unless it's something negative on that phone, whether it's the news that's bad or just garbage, gossip, whatever on social media. He says designed to consume your focus, keep your attention. And I ain't never heard nothing that made more sense than that, along with years ago, I don't know, old timer might remember, Andy Warhol. He was a painter in the 60s, and he said everybody is going to have their 15 minutes of fame. And it never amounted to anything, me hearing him saying it. It was a famous quote of his. And now I can see it in fruition, because that's what social media is. Everybody want to be all they can be, whether they lying or telling the truth, and have their 15 minutes of fame. Only some of our kids and young adults don't know how to handle it and to go all out to commit crimes, murders, whatever, to have their 15 minutes of fame. They don't care if they go to jail for 60 years.
And you know what, Bill?
That's all I got to say.
Let me say this, brother. You're so right, because it's a spirit, man. I've had so many videos go viral. I remember when I first started videoing Old Timing, Bill, and I've videoed for a long time before I had a viral video. So one day I was praying. I was like, God, why I can't have no viral video? This is me talking now. I'm being honest. And one thing I learned that I had over the people that got a viral video, I was consistent every day. Every day. You could always go to my page and you'll see a video every day, every day. Well, none of them going viral at that time. You had some people, it's like a one-hit wonder. They'll get something and it just goes super viral. But my point is, once you go viral once or twice, you want to keep going again. And like you said, Bill, you'll do anything. I've seen women that I had respect for take a picture showing themselves in their bikinis, swimsuit, one piece, that I know that they're not what they're displaying on social media. I've seen it, Bill. I've seen it where criminals record themselves robbing somebody or carjacking somebody. I've seen it, all for the name of fame. And you're right, Bill. You're right. For 15 minutes of it. Yeah. And you are so correct.
I tell you, though, Martin, it takes a strong conviction and a moral compass. And I'm going to speak on you in particular. What you do chasing crime and reporting crime and giving it to us at the level that we understand it and nothing but the fact. You might not have went viral like a lot of other people that's trying to do what you do because of your moral compass. Had you been the one to, because I know of times you've been the first one on the scene. If you was showing dead bodies and bullet wounds every time, you would have went, but you won't do that out of respect for the person that's laying there and the family that's living. So you have to be conscious and have some kind of moral compass when dealing with the media. Yeah.
And you're right, Bill. I'll say this. I remember I used to get in trouble all the time. People, they'd go on my page and say, take that video down. Why did you film my love? I said, first of all, you'll know my videos because you'll hear my voice in them. Okay? That's one signature. My voice is distinctive. You know how I operate. Those have been following me. And I'm not here to just get viral videos. Yes, I want viral videos, but I don't want it at the cost of my life or at the cost of showing a bloody body or a bullet hole and all. That's not what I do. My purpose here is to show you what's going on in the community, live, uncut, and unedited, without me adding anything on it. Now, you know, Bill, an old timer, we see a lot of videos that go viral because they're skits, but they real though, in a sense, you know, real problems. I don't do skits. I do what's real time in life. When I show you something, I'm showing you just as it is, unscripted, uncut, unedited, and that's it. And a lot of times, I've been videoing old time and Bill. People say, well, show the body, get up close and do that. I said, no. Now, and I'm saying in my mind, you wouldn't want me to show a gunshot wound in your loved one's head, but you want me to do it to someone else's son or daughter or something like that. And that's what I tell people. When you watch my videos, I don't know what y'all do about these other guys that chase crime or whatever. I don't demonize the dead. I don't do that. Now, this young man that got killed the other day, and I'm going to say this out of respectfully, young 15-year-old that got killed, shot in the neck and the chest, and burnt up in the back of the car in Bridgeport. Now, there are some videos around showing him holding up a gun, drink, weed in one hand. One video was talking about he wanted to, you know, be a baby daddy and this and all that. I mean, there are things out there like that on this young man. But let me just say this, and to the family, very respectful. I don't care what he's done. I don't believe he deserved to be shot in the neck, shot in the chest, put in back of the trunk, and the car set on fire. I don't believe that. Whatever he done, whatever picture that he put up or describing himself as on social media, I don't think that gruesome, that's a very gruesome crime. That's an overkill, Bill. And old timer, you know that. That's an overkill. That's overkill. So we got to get out of this. But listen, people, if there was some cameras back in my day, you might have caught me doing some things and judged me wrong. I ain't been no stand-up type of guy all my life, Bill. I wouldn't get on here and pretend like it. Old time I've been in jail. I done sat in the county 2 or 3 days. And that don't make me a super bad person. I learned from my ways. I changed my behavior. And I went straight. And that's what I had to do what I do. Some people learn different. Some people have that discipline. Hey, well, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. That's a blessing. I never make fun of a person that never been in jail, never held a pistol, never have been involved in crimes and gang. That's a good thing. And one thing I learned, old timer, when you don't start nothing, you don't have to worry about stopping it. So if you don't start drinking, you ain't got to never worry about being alcoholic. If you don't start smoking, you ain't never got to worry about stopping it. If you don't start shooting drugs in your veins, if you don't start it, you ain't got to worry about stopping it. It's some things as human beings, as young men and women, we shouldn't indulge in because it may take us overboard. It'll get out of control. Seriously.
Oh, man, it's way out of control, man. I mean, I ain't missed nothing with that, man, because, public transportation, I've been on the bus, man, where people ran into 7-Eleven, and all of a sudden they went in there and smashed and grabbed, and some of the people, your friends, see, we used to be following the parades, coming in New Orleans, following the Mardi Gras parades every night. So we catch the bus to the parade, and on the way coming home, man, we get off the bus. I don't know who was the mastermind, man, but they just converged on the store, and you just went along with the crowd, man, knowing that anything could happen. You couldn't bring no coffee home. You couldn't bring no stuff home because they say, where you get that from? You had to tell a lie, but some people, man, was running there getting some everything out of that store and having more than one time. So, you're going to have to, keep yourself, man. And other than that, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught up with it. Cause somebody gonna say, "Man, ain't you down with us? Man, you act like you scared." You know, I done been through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it all depends what you want to go through. You know, and I ain't saying because a person been to jail that they're a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing for you to do is stay up out of there. I told my son, I say, listen, man. I ain't calling no man at that time. I say, listen, let me tell you something, son. I say, keep your name out of that police blotter. I told him that. Well, I mean, you know, he had his trouble, he had his trials and tribulations. So, you know, he didn't listen to it all the way. Had himself in some serious trouble. But I told him, keep your name out of the police blotter, son. Keep your name out. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I tried to work with him. You know, he's working. But I did tell him about keeping his name out of the police blotter.
Go ahead, Bill.
You can't give up on them, old timer. I'm one to admit to my fault and a lot of bad ways or habits. And I can't say I had to, because I have to thank God this day for my parents, having the parents and the grandparents in the community that I grew up in. But I still strayed away. But the thing of it is, any and everybody can change, but you gotta want to. And it took me a long time to change. But as far as peer pressure with me, it wasn't that, because I always wanted to be. I always was a leader, not a follower. If I couldn't have a say so or input in something that's going on, I can't participate in it. But the thing of it is, times have changed so much, man. Like both of y'all said, you've been to the county. Old time I haven't, you know, and we all guilty of something somewhere along the line. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, our parents, somebody back then told us we was wrong, even though we might not have listened and did it our way or wouldn't do it in front of their face. Had a little respect for ourselves, but these kids today, they don't believe fat meat greasy. You could tell them they think that was back in the day. That was when things have changed. Yeah, they have. My grandmother told me something. She said, I told her that's the way it was back in the day. She said, baby, let me tell you something. The game never changed, just the faces. Mm-hmm. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And it's the truth. It's the same game, but different faces. And now the thing versus our era, we had a chance to make a few mistakes, several mistakes, more than the kids today. They can't slip up that much like we did on no level. Even to these little beats and want to be tough on the keyboard. It's costing them their lives.
Yes, it is. Yes. Let me, go ahead, Bill.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let me say this, too. Let me say this, Bill, then I'll let you come back. Bill, you're 100% right, because just a stroke of the keyboard, arguing with some, I call them Facebook gangsters, or lip boxing on Facebook. You know how many young people have slaughtered each other just over a conversation, not face to face, but over the social media, social media network, have cost. And that's why, as parents, as uncles, mentors, we have to get involved with young people and talk with them, engage with them one-on-one. Parents, Please, I'm talking about mothers and fathers, not just mothers. So this is not picking on mothers. We have to do a better job of monitoring our children with these cell phones. Well, you said, well, Martin, I want my daughter and son to have a phone just in case they need to call me. Yes, but you have to show them how to use that instrument and what it's for. It's not just for you to be on YouTube while you're in the classroom at school. It's not that. It's not for you to lay down and listen to music all night and know you got to get up and go to school in the morning. It's not for that. We have to teach our young people what social media is for and what these cell phones are to be used for, correctly used for. If not, it's going to be overwhelming us. And that's why a lot of young people right now can't go to school because they're lip boxing on Facebook. They've sent threatening messages. Now they got to hook up with the local gang just to have some protection of this particular gang. So this is how it all starts, people. Then you ask yourself as a parent, hey, I go to work every day. I provide a roof over my children's head. I clothe them. Where did he or she go wrong? She's coming in late. I'm getting a call saying that she's not going to school. Something went wrong. And a lot of parents, we're asking ourselves that. Our children are running around here. They mixed up in their mind. They don't know if they want a boy or girl. You ain't been in the world 2 days. What you know about some sex? You don't know nothing about that. They old timer. They as young as in 8th grade and 7th grade holding hands now. Same sex. And as parents, we cannot promote that. We can't pamper that. We have to stay on our children. I knew a gay man that I used to go to church with. And one thing I can say about him, he didn't perform none of those activities in front of his son. Now, as his son got up in age, he knew his son knew what type of lifestyle he was in. But he did not want that for his son. And parents, those of you that decide to live a lesbian lifestyle or gay lifestyle, don't involve your sons and daughters in that lifestyle. Give them a chance in life. Develop their own personality. What is it they want to do? Don't do that. That's unfair. It's unfair. Well, you say, well, Martin, I'm grown. I pay my bills, but don't mess up the children, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Some of your parents don't care. It's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it. Some of us, we know what's right and wrong. But you say, well, Martin, I'm an adult. I can do whatever. Yeah, you can. What about our children? That's why when I tell young ladies, you're dating a thug, a gunslinger, you're allowing him to drive your car. When he go out there and commit a smash and grab or a carjacking with the fellows or high-speed chase from the police, and you get in your car and go to the daycare or pick your young children up from school, and your car you get pulled over by the cops, say this car has been involved into a crime, a violent crime, or eluding the police. Or one of these thugs see that car that your baby daddy shot out with them, this car. They're not going to ask you to roll down your window in them dark tinted windows. Let me see who in there. They're going to spray that whole car. Now you hit, your child's hit. It's a whole chaos. This is real. If you're going to date you some thugs, you shouldn't even be in public with them at all. They shouldn't be driving your car. I'm just telling you. I've seen it. I've been at Bill, an old timer. I've been at so many crime scenes, man, that could have been avoided. All you had to do is not allow your baby daddy to drive your car. but you want to keep them around and you like that fast life, and now it cost you your child's life. Now you sit in the wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down, and he's going on to somebody else. So this is real. It can happen. It have happened. Seriously. Young lady, if you got a teenage son and he's out of control and you can't control him, you're going to have to get yourself some help. You're going to have to call some uncles, and you're going to have to allow your uncles to put their foot down, if I may use that term. Now, you can't ask your brother or your nephew to come over and chastise your son, and in the middle of doing it, you stopping him. Oh, no, that's too much. You can't do that. You got to let him do what he have to do, because you neglected from doing your job when he or she was little. Now your daughter's out here, 15 years old. She look like she's 20, makeup, body built up. She out here having sex for money. You heard some of them conversations, parents. You know that. You know it. You don't want to believe it. She's going with another girl. So these are the things that we're facing in today's youth. We're dealing with that. Today's youth, they don't listen. They see things different the way we seen them back in the 50s and 60s and 70s and the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s. They see things totally different. They have attitude of a free spirit attitude. Well, if you feel like it, just do it. It don't hurt to try it once. And that's their mentality, because the school is encouraging bad behavior. Well, if your parents are verbally abusing you, you could come and tell us, and we'll call the police, or you call the police. Old timer, you better not have called the police and living in my house. My mama told me if they come to that door, you leave it with the police. Don't come back.
Yes.
That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Go ahead.
No, brother, you're absolutely right. I mean, hey, if you did, you may get it worse than you was before had you had not said you were talking about calling the police. So, you gonna call the police? I'm gonna give you something to call them for.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a reason why to call them. And I remember a time, man, when my father. Let me tell you something. I'm saying this, it might help somebody, it may not. I got in trouble. My father went to PTA meeting. Now, he was a man that didn't go past 8th grade himself. It might have been 3rd, if I recollect right. But he was very serious about school. And what he got mad at me about was, teacher told him that I was capable of better work. I'll never forget this. And he said, okay, you capable of better work. That means you can do it, and you're just not doing it. I was making all these excuses. The teacher don't like me, and they hard on me, and all this kind of stuff. The teacher he didn't buy none of it. And so one day he told me, bring my books home and don't go outside. It lasted for a little bit. I see my friends outside. I didn't think my mama was telling them that I was slipping to go outside. Anyway, so I started slipping to go outside. I said, okay, I'll go out there for a few minutes. So one day I came home, and he was home. And I said, hey, how you doing, Dad? He was outside washing his car. He said, how you doing, son? Doing okay. Man, I came in the house, and I saw all those switches on top of the bunk bed. And what happened, I was in there studying hard. And I closed the door with me like I was studying hard. So we had one of them houses that go straight back. And he came in, he closed one door behind him, and then he closed the other door that would lead to the other room. And he said, what I told you about going outside? Didn't I tell you not to go outside? And man, I was 14 years old. He whipped me so bad. And the rule was don't run. He whipped me so bad, man, I had to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran next door to my auntie's house, which was right next door. And before I can close the door, he whapped me one more time across my head, man. I did a number 2 in my underwear. That's how bad he whipped me.
Mm.
I never got another whipping after that because I respected what he did and what he said, and I believe that's what kept me out of jail and all that stuff up to this day. I never spoke bad to him after that because he got my attention. And one day my son, he got him a little job and stuff, and I said, you going to church this morning? He downstairs in the basement sleeping. Then I said, I had a job. I said, what you doing with your money? He told me, he said, I don't ask you what you do with your money. I said, wait a minute, what now? So I said, where this coming from? He had him a job making $19 and something an hour. I said, okay. I tell you what, time for you to get your own place. We have to separate, because you asked me a question just now that I ain't never asked, my father. I ain't never made a statement like that to my father.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew then and there, and it got worse, and it got worse. He had his own phone. He told me I'll be so glad when I get up out of his house, I ain't got to worry about listening to this every day. Or he started talking like that. He started saying those things. But when I retired from work, he came over to the job. He told me, he cried and all that. And he cried and said, I never saw you not go to work. I never saw you make an excuse for staying home. He told me all the things, that he felt that I didn't ask him to say it, but all those things that he said, he came up with some stuff and told me about it. But for trouble for a while there, I had to discipline him and all that kind of stuff. But these phones, man, if you don't speak with your children and stay with them, they got somebody else out there that's going to try to get them. And, you got to be strict with them, It's tough love. I mean, I'm talking about good love. I ain't talking about, no tough love, knocking upside the head and all that. But, I mean, if they do wrong, they got to step up and face the music. You might have to whip them.
You should.
And, the Bible says, let not your soul spare for their crying. Because if you spoil that ride, if you spare that ride, you're going to spoil the child.
Mm-hmm.
Bible is right.
Go ahead, Bill.
And it's funny, they call it social media, but all you see is bickering. I done seen people, and personally, it's through other people, because I've never had a Facebook page, Instagram, none of that. But I know what's going on because of my wife and other people. But the thing is, I've seen people saying the same thing or having the same point, but saying it different, but fighting over like they're having a disagreement. I'm like, you're saying the same thing. And it's amazing that they call it social media, but everybody is so anti-social.
Mm-hmm. That's so true, Bill. That's so true.
It's it's crazy. Our kids ain't gonna have no social skills, man. They don't.
That's what I'm talking about.
Social means getting together, communicating, rubbing elbows, as we used to say. It means getting along, and that's not what's happening today. It should be called anti-social media. But the thing that's funny, I'm sure y'all both could relate to this. The communication skills of these young kids today, and a lot of them are in the the workforce today been on social media for years. Just think about the time that you had a situation on the phone with your credit card company, or you go to uh, um, anywhere, a store, at Walmart, and you you got this young adult, teenager, whatever, and you explaining to them what's going on with your situation, and if something could be done, they don't have the compassion. With lack of social skills, you're not gonna have no compassion from your fellow man. That's why it's a lot of killers. But even the ones that's on the right track, you can be telling them a situation, you returning something, and you got it for Christmas. They don't have no compassion for your situation, and always think the worst in the situation, that you're doing something wrong. No compassion at all. You could be telling them, just I'm returning this. I don't have a receipt. It was my daughter. She's dead, or she died, got killed. These people have no compassion. I got to stick by the rules. You can ask for the supervisor. You could be at Popeyes or whatever, ask for the supervisor because there's something breaking out. I'm the supervisor, and the supervisor just as ignorant as the people that's working for them, or worse. Because there's no compassion, no social skills, man. No communication.
I agree. All right, guys, we're going to hold it right there. I know it's midnight hour. I thank you guys. We're a little bit over an hour. And it was a great conversation. I think it was really needed. I thank both of you guys for your input. I want to thank the people that wrote in the messenger box for their input. And remember, people, we have to socialize outside of that telephone, that cell phone, that digital box. And I first admit, I love to keep my cell phone on me. I love the video, take pictures, but sometimes it need to be put down. When I first started, guys, I'm going to say this and let us go. Some of my friends used to say, Martin, you got to put that phone down, cut it off, get it away from you, lay down, get you some rest. And I had to learn how to do that, old timer. I was at one point, I wanted to get every crime that was going on, until I got more mature and realized, hey, Martin, it's just one of you. You can't get every crime out there. And everything is not meant for you to get. The things that's meant for you to get, trust me, you'll get them. And that's how I operate right now. If it's meant for me to be there, I'll be right in the area when it happened, and I'm right there and I got it. For all this year, have been an example of that. I have not had my scanner on me none this year, riding around with it. It's a delay. It's a delay, 20-minute delay. So people will call me, or I'm just driving through an area, and there's something go, just like that. So it's meant. And I want to say to the people, mothers and fathers, we as parents, uncles, grandfathers, mentors, we have to communicate much better with the young people, because the young people don't want to hear nothing we got to say. Nothing. They don't want anything to do with us. They feel like we don't know nothing, and they ain't been here but 2 days. 2 days. What you know about sex? What you know about buying a house? What you know about marriage? What you know about relationship? What you know about going on a job every day when you don't feel like it? Even when you're sick, you got it. You don't know nothing about it. Everything you've gotten is gotten by your parents, period. And you got it free without no skin in the game. And parents, let me tell you this. Instead of buying your sons and your daughters everything that you didn't have while you was coming up, you should be teaching them everything that you didn't know while you was coming up. And I guarantee you, by you teaching them everything you didn't know, you are arming them with the necessary information when they become an adult. Because if you don't do that, what's going to happen? You're going to have a 50 and 40-year-old man standing in your house with you. Never left the house. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm about family. Family should stay together. But there's a time where when a man, he's pursuing a woman and he's dating and he want to get married, he should have his own everything. That's my belief. But we know in some cases, it's not like that right now. We're living in a different age and time. So again, parents, we have to take some blame and responsibility of our sons and daughters for not teaching them. And don't get me wrong. You have to do the best you can. The Bible said, train up a child the way he should go. When he get older, he shall not depart from it. Train, teach. Not just hand the digital cell phone while you in a room having fun with your sexual partner, whether it be a male or female, drinking and smoking. And your son and your daughter, and they're starving for attention. Starving for attention. Now they go on social media, start a fight, pick an argument because they got an attitude. They in their emotions right now. So they irritated. Any little thing is going to tick them off. Now they're into a lip boxing. They're going back and forth every day. Now finally, when the two meet up, that's arguing on social media, somebody got a gun. Somebody's finna get hurt. A lot of these parents, we don't know who our children friends are. We don't even know them. We never met them, never seen them. So we have to do a better job, the mentors, the school teachers, and all of us that's in authority figures and leadership and stuff like that, and uncles. We have to do that. And parents, make sure you allow the teachers to do their job, the mentors to do their jobs, your uncles and your nephews and your brothers, so let them do their job. It takes a whole lot. If we don't have a village, let us create one around our children. Bill's wife, sometime when I go to the store, I call, I say, what I need to get my daughter. She'll pick it out for me because I don't know. That look nice on her, Martin. And I ask her, I don't know. So thank you, guys. I hope I made sense tonight. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is definitely live, uncut, unedited. I think I've been on every day this week. Been on late, but I've been on every day this week. It's getting good, people. It's getting good.
What it is.
Yeah.
Live, uncut, unedited.
That's
Unedited.
it. That's it.
God bless you, my man.
All right.
You
Tell
already
the
know
truth
what
or
it
shame
is.
the devil.
Live, uncut, unedited.
This is where we
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
don't forget about this part, y'all. Now,
I love being black.
I love being black.
you better, because if you don't, something wrong with you. And don't let no other race of people make you ashamed of who you are. If a gay person can walk around here and say, God made me this way, this is who I am, why can't we say it as a black person? One thing, the difference between a gay person and a black person, that's all you can ever be is black. A gay person, they have an option. They can be straight if they choose to be. They have that option. But once you black, you black.
I love being black.
Good night, people.